Hello and welcome to the Pants of Horus channel. This is Zord. Today we'll be talking about principles of roster development, the beginner edition. Our goal is to advise trainees on how to build efficiently and get to a raid team as quickly as possible. There are many ways to do this, and this is just how I like to think about it. And please remember to like and subscribe. The link to our Discord will be in the description below. Today we are going to cover efficient energy farming, a brief overview of the current meta teams, and two of the many Tacticus tools. The focus will be for players who are still in the beginning stages of Tacticus, though I hope that even more advanced players can pick something up. The first question that has to be asked is, have you finished the basic campaigns? This typically happens in the mid-30s to low 40s with some exceptions. This is an important step as it gives the player requisition scrolls, so maybe they get a lucky character pool, as well as access to nodes to farm most materials in the game, even if not efficiently. Efficient farming deserves a moment to discuss. While most materials can be found in normal nodes, this is the most inefficient way to farm. This is a chart made by, I believe, FMG, but this is incorrect. Please, someone let me know. It can also be found in the Tacticus Planner. Now here's the way to read this. What is the average energy expended for each upgrade? Lower across the row is best. What we can see is that the normal Indominus missions 16 to 29, those are the 5 energy ones, they are the most efficient raid token use by energy expended. It's not by much, 0.75 less energy compared to mirror campaign missions and 0.65 less compared to elite. But you do need so many of these basic materials. If you can source them from the 5 energy missions, there's no reason not to do so. Otherwise, we see that elite are essentially the best way to farm all other materials. Notably, rare materials are on average 1.85 energy cheaper with elite modes, and legendary materials are a whopping 6.77 energy cheaper with elite nodes. So we do encourage people to open up those elite nodes for faction farming specifically. You can certainly get by with using mirror missions for epic and rare. It's really not that much more, and if you do need them and you do not have the elite opened up, probably worth it. However, you really need to be raiding elite nodes for legendary materials. That difference is on average another common material raid, and this is why we emphasize elite missions, especially for meta characters. Alright, so now we need to figure out which elite campaigns to push. We have finished the basic campaign. Two things to consider. What team would you actually like to play, and which legendaries have you accidentally unlocked? This helps us decide which meta team to work towards. There are currently 3 meta teams and 1 team that recently got pushed out of the meta but still has some very niche applications. Note that these are color-coded for how to unlock them, whether by Guild War credits, campaign events, the campaigns, and legendary release events. There is some flexibility within each of these teams depending on the boss, and there are more that are potential meta as well, particularly in the Rapid Assault team. That is beyond the scope of today. So Rapid Assault is the new kid on the block and has been taking over a lot of bosses and will probably take over more in the future. This team is excellent at bosses with high mobility due to their Rapid Assault keyword, which gives an extra movement until they attack. They have high mobility in general and don't mind chasing a boss around the battlefield. You have to manage actives carefully to synergize with the Trajan passive, and you end the raid with a massive carrion nuke. Most of these characters are quite difficult to farm out. Trajan and Dante are currently in legendary release events. You get 2 more chances for Trajan and 1 for Dante. You can substitute Aethana for Dante pretty easily at least. Karn and Ragnar can be farmed via Guild War credits, and Carrion is no longer farmable. You'll be praying to Grandfather Snowprint for a lucky drop. Admech is the team that routinely does the highest damage on bosses. It is highly reliant on positioning. A single mistake can drop the damage from over 1 million to, let's just say, way under. Most of these units can be farmed via the Admech campaign event. Thankfully, you don't have to rely on requisition drops anymore. If you think this is the way to go for you, if this is the team for you, push your Death Guard units to allow you to unlock and farm the Adeptus Mechanicus units. This team relies on Ro's active Cord Claw ability and getting as many mechanical reactivations on the boss as possible during the 2 turns when it is active. The Neuro or Psyker team is probably the easiest one to farm because most of the characters can be found in the campaign itself. Ahriman can certainly be a barrier as a legendary unit, though you can substitute in some cheaper characters in a pinch, such as Thaddeus or Eldrian. The heart of this team is Neurothrope. Don't let him get touched because he will get close combat weakness and cut your damage in half. You land his auto on the boss and then keep hitting the boss with Psyker or suppressive hits in order to add more stacks. Once you get to 15 max stacks, you switch with the Yaz active to get an extra attack in, hopefully with high ground. This is very much a luxury team as most teams are significantly better on most bosses. However, for some very high-level bosses like Legendary 5 or Mythic, Avatar, Mortarion, Neuro is the strongest and most consistent team. It's very positioning dependent and shines on these high armor bosses. I don't usually recommend trainees or newer players go for the Psyker team as their first primary meta team. You just can't use it on too many bosses, and the ones you can use it on, it gets outshone by the other meta teams. I leave it up because it has become significantly more relevant in the very recent past, and sometimes we do get someone who just loves Tyranids or loves Thousand Suns. Now, sadly, multi-hit. It has been almost completely pushed out of the meta, and I almost didn't include it, but it is still used frequently on Magnus. Double Hal Ragnar Bomb front loads all the damage here, but it has been supplanted by Rapid Assault almost entirely. You could say, why bother with multi-hit at all? The reason is it's just very simple to build a beginner multi-hit team, and it allows you to start playing raids while farming out the necessary meta teams. In order to build a foundational multi-hit team, the key is utilizing the Eldrion passive, which adds damage to each hit for a unit exactly 2 units away from Eldrion. We used to say, just push the Eldrion passive to 50, you'll never regret it. However, now that multi-hit is out of the meta, you can pretty much get this to around 35 or so. You can fill up a basic guild raid team with campaign characters that you'll use to unlock elite nodes anyway. Look for characters that have a lot of hits. Eldrian, Snotflaga, Boss G, Thaddeus, Harkin, all of these are reasonable to start with. Don't use characters with one-hit profiles, it will not work. Here are where the elite nodes are found for each faction. I'll pause for each of these, and you can see this as well at the Pants of Horus Discord in the public section. Finally, I just want to say that this game is a marathon, not a sprint. I've known so many people burn out by pushing too quickly, expecting too much too soon. Just sit back, enjoy the game as you build in an efficient manner, it will come. Also, it helps a lot to use the tools we have available. The Tacticus Planner is an amazing resource currently being supported by several members of the community, including some Pants of Horus people. I plan on doing a video just on the planner, but in brief, you can input your roster by syncing with the Tacticus API token, and you can create goals for planning your next upgrades. Here is mine, and it will tell you the most efficient ways to farm out those goals. There is also a function for showing exactly which upgrades are needed and where to find them for each character from Stone 1 to Adamantine. Our good friends at IVS created the Ezekiel bot that can be installed in Discord to give you tons of information, including the upgrade list for different units and the damage profile of different abilities that can visually demonstrate how an ability scales. It's an extremely useful tool and is integrated into Discord itself. So, too long, didn't read, here are the goals we recommend. Finish the basic campaigns around level 35. Identify the meta team that fits with roster and personality. I strongly recommend watching a lot of replay videos to identify which team fits best with you. You expand your roster to unlock the elite nodes to support this team most efficiently. Wait to level your raid team until you have the important nodes unlocked. There really is no rush to get started on your raid team as long as you are building the foundation required. Well, that's all from me. Thank you for listening and watching. Let me know if you agree, disagree, or if you think I missed anything. Comment below or join the Discord so you can interact with all the helpful members of the community. See you there.